Hello. Today we're going to be talking about how to insert tables and figures in your assignment and which is the best way to do it to help you with your word count. We're also going to touch on a few other issues that students appears to have issues with when doing assignments. So let's move to the first page. So this is a simple literature review, and it's the start of the literature review looking specifically at the African Caribbean engagement with an entrepreneurial university. I've started off by doing a mind map, and this mind map maps all the activities and potential areas of discussion that's going to take place in my literature review. Underneath, you will note in my assignment, figures always have the title at the bottom, followed by the source and the table number, or the figure number. In this case, it's figure 1. And you've got the dialogue to go with it. So that is showing you a figure. The next is a table. A table always has its title at the top, and this is always followed with the source where this information was taken from or who produced that information at the bottom. And you can see that is followed with some text. So the first thing we want to talk about here is our word count. So we go from the end of the document to the start of the document, which is here. And if this was our assignment, we would only start at the introduction and we'd go to the end of the document, which would be here. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, it says the overall word count is 369, but we have only highlighted 359. The quickest way to check it, because this doesn't always come up, is go up to review, go across to word count, and it shows you that the actual word count of the text highlighted is 303. So that is actually inaccurate. So the actual word count here is 303 words that has been highlighted. Okay, so the first thing we need to note, but 9 times out of 10, when you generate tables, charts and figures in your Word document, you will note this is a table, and if I highlight a second document here, which shows exactly the same information. Okay, so to all intents and purposes now, this is exactly the same as the first document without the 2 tables. So if we do a word count now, that should give us an accurate indication of what our word count is. 167 words without the 2 tables. So clearly you can see that by inserting the tables as they are, they account for over about 135 words in this document, because the only thing different between this document, which is called table 1, figure 1, as you can here see, it's document 1. We're doing a word count on that. That's 313, but that includes the first page. We've included everything that's here, so that's 313. Now, if you have a lot of tables and a lot of charts in your document, that's going to push your word count up significantly. So what I'm going to show you now is how to insert tables and charts in your documents without increasing your word count. So let's just check the word count again for this. $167. So the first thing we need to do is to locate where our table, chart, or diagram is going to go. And I'm going to try and show you how to import it correctly. And what we're going to do is import the document that we want as a Word file. Sorry, as a picture, a JPEG. So I'm just going to go to another document. Okay, so in this document, this is called document 3. But the key thing about this is it doesn't matter where you've got the document, whether it's Word, PowerPoint, Excel, etc. The main thing is that you're able to copy this document across. So this is document 1, what has the large word count. We no longer want document 1 in front of us. We want document 2 and document 3. So the first thing I do, I go to my page. I'm just going to make this large for you. I'm going to go to Screen, Insert, Screenshot, Screenshot Cutting, come across to here, highlight what information I want, which is here, and it automatically brings it in to my assignment or Word document. Let's just get rid of those. And remember, the word count was 167. But because this is now classed as a JPEG or as a picture, you're not going to pick up the word count off this. So if I run another word count here, it's still 167. Okay, so we want to import our second document now. So I just need to go back to my last document to prepare it. This time I'm importing a table, and table always has its title at the top of the table and the source at the bottom, as I've already said. So now I'm going to go to my second document, come across to Insert Screenshot. There's many different ways in which you can do this. Highlight the information that I want, and you can see it brings it across automatically. So that's the two documents that we had. And I'm just going to tidy this up a bit by bringing this up to there. Now that looks identical to document 1, which is this document. The only difference is this has got the tables and charts and diagrams in the Word document, but because it's part of the Word document, it's embedded, this still gives me a word count. Now if I run a word count from top to bottom, let's go to review, word count, 301, 313. Let's close that. Let's move that document out. This is document 2, which is an identical document. Let's do a word count on this now. And you'll see that it still remained at 167 words in my document. Okay, 167, as you can see. Now, if you do it this way, you can also resize your document. You can also resize the size of the figure, table, or chart that exist in your document, because the original size could have been a lot larger, as I've seen a number of you have. A number of you have tables that's really large, something like that, doesn't fit correctly on your page, but by bringing it in as a picture, you can automatically resize it yourself to be centered on the page as it is there, or if it's smaller, to be justified to the right, justified to the left, or centered. I prefer my documents centered. Now that is the way in which to bring your tables, charts, and figures into your Word assignment and not to increase your word count. Now, if you've got 10 diagrams and each diagram is 100 words, there is 1,000 words right there in the 10 diagrams. That would put your word count from a 3,000 word assignment up to a 4,000 word assignment. But by bringing them in like this, this reduces the word count, and the figure and the content is still identical in terms of its presentation and its layout, and in many ways it can be better presented than if you try to bring in the proper or an embedded table, chart, or diagram into your document. I hope that is useful, and I'm expecting to see this method used for your assignments to help you reduce your word count. Just as a final word, this does vary from assignment to assignment in terms of some tutors allow you to have tables like this, but your word count counts when you embed it, or if you bring the table in. Some subjects charges you 250 words per diagram that you bring in. So you need to read your assignment marking criteria to see what your tutor is allowing you to do. And where you see things like this occurring, what you do need to do is to go back to the original document, such as this. Let's just make it larger. And all you need to do is just go through and ignore it, because the spelling is correct according to the author. And once you do this for all of them, it will say that it will remove it as an incorrectly spelt word or surname, and then you just do another screenshot. You can either import it as a screenshot or do the method that I've just showed you, but either way, that would then get rid of all the errors that was showing up. And just to prove that, I shall reduce this size again. There is my table. And in this version, I shall delete that because it's got all the errors in. Go to Insert, Screenshot, Screen Clipping, come across to here, highlight it, and bring it back into my document again. And as you can see, all the errors have now gone. And that is how to insert tables, charts, and diagrams into your assignment and not to increase your word count at the same time. Thank you, and I hope that this has been helpful to you.